Miraculous Ladybug Heroes Unite is surprisingly good, but I feel like I'm somewhat biased source because I'm used to putting up with Miraculous's terrible writing. And when they release something halfway decent, I'm like, oh my god, this is a masterpiece. But hey guys, I'm Lila and I cover your favorite animated films and TV shows, and today I'm talking about the 2020 Miraculous Ladybug special, Miraculous World New York United Heroes, and discussing why this special is surprisingly decent, and also reviewing the movie as a whole and my thoughts on it. Now, the whole reason I said that I was biased in the first place is because Miraculous Ladybug is actually my favorite show. And I can already hear, wow, Miraculous Ladybug's your favorite show? You really must have no taste. And I really don't, but I made a whole video on why I think the show is trash, so make sure to go check that out. But let's summarize what actually happens in the movie. Already, I swear, they spent the whole budget in the first 20 seconds of this movie because the opening is fire. Like, for real, I'm expecting some high budget movie now, and then we open to Miraculous Ladybug's animation. I'm just like, alright, I'm watching this. But then we cut to this really cute scene of Cat Noir giving Ladybug a rose. And I love how it's canon that Cat Noir literally memorized the meaning of flowers just for Ladybug. So then Ladybug transforms back into her civilian self and skedaddles off to school. And when we get there, we learn that the Akuma class actually has planned a field trip to New York City. And can I just question how much they're paying for their school to be getting a field trip to a different country? Like, I've never been on a field trip past elementary school. And it's not like it's their senior trip, it's just some random field trip because it's French-American Friendship Week. Like, what is this? But anyways, Adrien obviously can't attend because his dad sucks. But don't worry, because the writers will come up with some dumb reason to get him there. Because if he wasn't, there would be no love square, aka the best part of the whole show. So now Gabriel is going as well to retrieve a lost Miraculous and letting Adrien go so he can watch over him. But right before Gabriel tells Adrien he can go, Ladybug tells Cat Noir that she will be Gucci gone for the next couple of days, and that he needs to stay and watch over Paris. So now Adrien's in a bit of a pickle, and Plag's advice is to simply not tell Ladybug. And honestly, I kinda agree with him. Like, this poor boy does not get out much. So then on the way there, their plane got hijacked by a villain, but the American heroes save the plane, and that's when we are introduced to Majestia. And apparently superheroes are not a rare occurrence in this world because they are all over New York City. So that's when we meet Sparrow and Aeon in their civilian forms, and there is a little party going on top of the roof. And even a hot dog superhero shows up. So Marinette and Adrien split a hot dog, and they proceed to fly up in the air and dance together. But then they start playing their song, and it's so cute. But after the party, Aeon, Sparrow, Alia, and Nino all have the brilliant idea to make Adrien and Marinette feel like they're being attacked by a villain to get Marinette to confess her feelings, which of course does not go to plan because of guess who? Hakima. And that's when an actual akumatized villain attacks the museum. But for real, Gabriel is such a bad dad. Can we talk about the fact that he akumatized a villain to go to this museum to retrieve a lost Miraculous or whatever, the exact museum that he knows his son is at? Like, someone needs to call child services. So then, of course, like the heroes they are, Marinette transforms into Ladybug and Adrien into Cat Noir. And then they're just both like,
Cat Noir? What are you doing here?
Like, come on, you know you were just in the room with Marinette / Adrien, and walking out in their place is Ladybug and Cat Noir. Like, please! Someone in their little pea-sized brain should have made the connection. Like, I wonder why Cat Noir / Ladybug is in New York. Maybe it has to do with the field trip that your class planned! But anyways, Ladybug proceeds to be very mad at Cat Noir, which I'll talk more about later. And Cat Noir accidentally cataclysms Aeon. Luckily, she is robotic, so she can come back to life, but that's when we learn that when a human actually gets cataclysmed, it can be fatal. So, interesting. But then they're ordered to revoke their Miraculouses, but you already know that there's no way they're doing that. So they run away into the sewers, of course, because for some reason, they're always in the freaking sewers, and Cat Noir proceeds to renounce his Miraculous and gives it to Ladybug. And then we cut to Gabriel looking like a creep talking to the new Kwame he got. So then Gabriel demands that Adrien goes home, and Marinette tries to ride a bike and fails. But then basically all the heroes in New York turn evil and basically just start doing whatever the heck they want because of Techno Pirate and the new Miraculous that he's wearing. So the only people who are not affected left to fight include Sparrow, Aeon, Cat Noir, and Ladybug. Yes, all children. Aeon actually knows Ladybug and Cat Noir's identity because she is a computer and can see through magic, I guess. So she goes to grab Adrien and Marinette to come help. Then Hawkmoth threatens a worldwide war if Ladybug and Cat Noir don't give up their Miraculous, Miraculous. And honestly, that's the best threat I've seen Gabriel give out. So then Ladybug grabs the Eagle Miraculous and gives it to Sparrow, and all the heroes save the day. But this closing scene is so dumb. Like, Zag obviously wanted to set it up for another spin-off Miraculous show or movie, because this Guardian comes and demands the Miraculous back, and Sparrow just throws out the suggestion of making a team, and he's like, yeah, I want to do that instead. And then they all live happily ever after, I guess, but not really, because I've seen season 4. So I finished this movie, and guess what? We made 0 progress at all. We are right back to where we started. I shouldn't be surprised, considering every episode that has the teeniest inch of progress, their memories just get erased. But I feel like when I'm watching the scene with Marinette chasing after Adrian's car, it's just for the fans to know, yeah, we know you watch for the love square, but you're never gonna get it. Me running after Marichat being canon. Me running after Ladybug and Cat Noir revealing their identities. Me running after Marinette not being creepy. But I do think this movie is better than the show usually is. It did have a lot of weird side plots, like Miss Bustier being pregnant, Adrian's bodyguard being scared of flying, and Sabrina with this random dude. But it also raised the stakes. I mean, we don't usually see Gabriel threatening world wars. I mean, if he was back in Paris, he would just be trying to convince a pigeon man or a baby to steal some jewelry, so. But let's dive into how the characters acted in this movie. Okay, Marinette. I'm gonna start off by saying Marinette is actually my favorite character out of the whole show. And before someone comes at me, I know about her faults, okay? I know about everything wrong with her, but in my mind, I just pretend they aren't there, and I just count them as the writers being annoying. But one of those faults includes her being insanely creepy sometimes. Come on, why do the writers do this to her? But Adrian, come on, for real, how do you let her get away with saying this crap?
We're holding each other really tightly in the delicious aroma of cologne.
Like, watching this just makes me physically cringe. I really thought that when this movie first came out, that Marinette wasn't gonna be so weird. But then right off the bat, we have this opening scene. And can the writers just make it that she actually gets over Adrian and moves on, please? I just need some progress to happen in my life for once. And speaking of the Adrianette ship, the only time that Adrianette is tolerable is when Marinette isn't obsessing over Adrian, or she's just preoccupied doing something else and can actually talk to him like a normal human being. And one thing that just got me was when Alia was talking to Marinette, and I just can't get over the fact that they tried to make it out that New York City is the most romantic city. Like, please, this place, the most rat-filled, infested place, is the most romantic city in the world. Like, you guys live in Paris, for crying out loud, which is just as dirty, but Paris usually has the title of being the most romantic city, not New York City, for crying out loud. But back to Marinette, I think the scene with her chasing after Adrian was kinda just fan service. No, not that type of fan service. But actually in this movie, a lot of the scenes with Marinette and Adrian felt like they were just for people who like to watch because of the love square. Like, those scenes literally never helped the plot, except for Marinette getting Adrian to go to New York. But ultimately, she didn't even do that because Gabriel passed it off as convenient timing. And it's not like there's any progress in their relationship either, so. But I really shouldn't be hating on those scenes because I definitely do not watch for the plot. But moving on to Adrian. Ugh, this boy. I swear he's basically an anime protagonist always having to suffer and having an evil dad and never getting freedom. But I really want to talk about Adrian giving up his Miraculous. Okay, I feel like I've seen this boy give up his Miraculous a lot throughout the show. But this time definitely makes the most sense and actually works. I mean, he feels like he literally just killed someone, and he almost did. He just got lucky. And also, a lot of Paris got destroyed because Ladybug couldn't use her lucky charm in time to reverse the damages, and he should have been there to let her know to come back, but he wasn't because he lied to her. So he's feeling extremely awful and like a failure as a superhero. And I actually really liked how it all played out. Unlike that one episode in season 4 where Adrian's like, ugh, Ladybug doesn't love me anymore. I'm gonna give him my Miraculous. Screw you, Plag. And then we cut to this scene between Adrian and Marinette, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because they just fought as Ladybug and Cat Noir. Like, why are you guys looking so depressed at each other? I get when they start being super sad when Adrian's leaving, but before that, why are you guys staring at each other like that? You guys did nothing to each other. But when Marinette is going after Adrian, can we talk about how there's no one in these streets of New York City? I understand that before this there was a warning to stay safe or whatever, but come on, there has to be like a homeless man or two out on the streets. Or maybe even like a drunk guy off there in the corner. But moving on, I am very, very confused on the relationship statuses throughout this whole movie. At the end of season 3, it was indicated that Kagami and Adrian had a thing for each other, as well as Marinette and Luca. But we didn't see them get together or say that they were dating. So when she just started kissing him out of nowhere, I was like, whoa, what's going on now? Like, are they dating throughout this movie or not? Because this is not something you should be doing with someone if you have a girlfriend back home in Paris. If they are dating, that just makes Marinette and Adrian a bunch of cheating jerks. And then the whole situationship with Marinette and Luca dating is really weird because he was saying for her to get some clarity on this trip about her feelings for Adrian. But if they're dating, why the heck is Luca saying that to her? Her feelings should be incredibly clear if she has a boyfriend. And even when Luca and Marinette and Adrian Kagami break up in the first 2 episodes of season 4, I'm like, wait, I didn't even know they were dating to begin with. So thank you for giving us so much clarity on that, Zag. Okay, so now I just have to talk about how ironic it is that Ladybug is so pissed off at Cat Noir when she is the whole reason that he is in New York. I don't know, the whole situation honestly just makes me feel bad for Adrian because he literally wanted to stay behind even after he was told that he could go just for Ladybug. And it's not like this boy gets out a lot, so this was a really big deal for him. But then Plague convinces him to just go anyways, and Cat Noir proceeds to get berated and yelled at by Ladybug. And the whole time I just want to scream at Marinette, it's your fault that he's here to begin with! Ugh, secret identities, you gotta love them. I'm sure the writers love them because this gives them some drama. And I cannot even count the amount of times I've seen this scene edited.
I didn't tell you because I was afraid of losing your trust.
Well, I can't trust you anymore, can I?
But moving on, one thing that caught my attention, and that is actually a extremely good point, is when Majestia says,
"It's better like this. What would have happened if you hadn't been able to fix Uncanny? Or if she hadn't been an android?"
like, really, no one cares what Ladybug and Cat Noir do. And that's kind of a problem, especially considering that they're 15 years old. And even the old man with a cane who's supposed to be quote-unquote protecting them as a guardian is an idiot. Because he gave 2 15-year-olds superhero powers and proceeded to have his memory erased, leaving Marinette with the burden of protecting all of Paris, which has not been too great for her mental health. I wish Master Fu was framed as a villain because that would make the show so much more interesting. And it would also explain why kids got the Miraculous instead of adults fighting other evil adults. Oh, and quickly, like I said earlier, I cannot even describe how absurd it is that they're having a field trip to a different country. I mean, Zag has a lot of Miraculous specials planned for the future, so what is it gonna be? Marinette's class goes on a world tour? Like, I don't know how much money Marinette's parents are making from the bakery, but it must be a lot to send her on all of these field trips. And I just can't wait to hear all the absurd reasons why Marinette and Adrian have to go to all these different countries. Like, don't even get me started with Shanghai. That's a whole video for another day. But now for the animation. The animation throughout this whole movie is actually really good. And you can definitely tell that they had a bigger budget for this than the series. But obviously it wasn't that big, or they would have included actual people in the sidewalks of New York. And I feel like they spent a lot more time on the scenes that they thought were going to be popular, including all of the Love Square scenes, because this animation looks particularly good. Especially Marinette's scene. I love the rain pouring down, and this shot just got me. Sadly, Miraculous is animated in this atrocious 3D animation that I am not a fan of. One day, I just want someone to make a whole movie in 2D animation about Miraculous, because that would be my dream come true. But ultimately, for all my complaining, I did really enjoy this movie. And I remember when it first came out, I thought that they were finally going to make some progress, but like usual, I was disappointed. Back then, I thought that maybe after 3 seasons, they would give us something. But nope! But you know, maybe during season 5. But somehow, the Miraculous Show Bible got leaked for that whole season, which I totally did not read. I do not support reading that. Bad people read it. Don't read it. But back to the movie. This was definitely one of the best Miraculous episodes / specials that I've watched. And it does a really good job in keeping you in the movie, and it's so cute. I can't deny how much I love these dumb scenes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see more of your favorite animated films and TV shows, make sure to subscribe and also like the video. Thanks, guys. Your support means the world to me. Bye.